Hi gang, Mr. Sunderland here. I want to give you a quick overview of what I want you to do on your tens video. Alright, so you're going to make two videos, one for high tens, one for low tens. Alright, just like everything else, complete your foundational application sheets and use that as an outline for your videos. Alright, so your first one is going to be high tens. You'll always want to go through a quick reevaluation of the injury. Now, I asked you all to go on GroupMe and pick out a different injury. So there's 7 of you, pick out 7 different injuries. Alright, so first, after you do your evaluation or reevaluation of the injury, explain what the patient is going to feel with this modality. So you have a goal of decreasing pain, and you can either decrease pain by high tens or low tens. All right, so that will be your goal. You pick your injury and you explain what they're going to feel based on the injury. Then you apply your electrodes. All right, first, you'll want to clean the skin area where your electrodes are going to be. All right. You apply your electrodes to the area. You have multiple ways of doing it. We're using a bipolar technique today. All right. So the injury is going to be between your electrodes. Remember, the nerves run longitudinally, and so this is one technique you can use. Okay, so you set up your electrodes. All right, now on your tens units, you will have to explain what's going to happen here and how you set up the parameters. So for high tens, you're going to want a high pulse rate, so we can go up anywhere over 100 pulses per second. Pulses per second is hertz, okay? And you'll want a low pulse width, which will be somewhere, let's set it at 120, halfway between there, okay? So for high tens, high pulse rate, all right, and short or narrow pulse width, okay? So once you have your parameters set, you're going to set it on, this machine has N, which will be for continuous. You can use burst or you can use modulate. Modulate would probably be the best for high tens, but we're just going to run it continuously. Okay? Then you turn on, you make sure everything's plugged in, and then you turn it on very slowly. All right? And the sensation they should feel is a tingling between the pads. All right, and for me, that's just about right there. You saw a little bit of motor response, so you want to turn it down so there's not a motor response, just a tingling that happens right there. All right, so you run your tens unit for somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes. 15 to 20 is on the short side. You can run it for hours if you want, but typically we're going to run it for 30 minutes. The window of time for your rehab to be done after the tens unit is taken off is somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour. All right, some books will say even up to 2 hours. So after you do it, you have a rehab window where you're going to stretch, strengthen, mob, massage, whatever you're going to do related to your rehab portion. Remember, this is only a treatment. It's not rehab unless you do something with stretching or exercise. Okay, so that is your high tens. All right, so for the low tens video, you're going to do the same thing, except for low tens, you're going to set your parameters in a different way. We're going to set our pulse width very high, and we're going to set it over, let's set it all the way up to 260. And our pulse rate can be anywhere from 1 to 10 I'm going to set it at 2. Okay? Now, this is a different theory on why you're using low tens or motor tens. So you're using this tens for a period of 40 minutes, and you're going to get a motor contraction. Now, with the motor, you can set it up differently. You can leave it like this, the bipolar technique, or you can find a motor point. Okay, the motor point works out better, but I'm basically on a motor point, as you can see that my hand is contracting. All right, so you can leave this on for upwards of 2 hours. Now, with this type of technique, it doesn't have to be right at the injured area. You could be below it, you could be above it, you could be around it. You just have to get a motor response to it, because this works on the endorphins, and that's in the central area. I would like you to go through the pain modules again and look at the chapter on pain and know what first order, second order, and third order neurons are, and that's basically low tens works on the third order neurons. All right, so that's an example of the tens application video that I would like you to make. If you have any questions, just go ahead and contact me.